What's going on, guys? Busted6 here, back to a video, and today I have an album review for you guys. Today I'm going over the newest studio offering from Antropomorphia, not to be confused with Anthropomorphia, but their new album, Devoid of Light. This is their 6th studio album overall. This band formed in 89 or 90, depending on what you say in the archives, but they are a band from the Netherlands, and they are essentially a death metal act, but I guess from the past couple albums they've been going more towards Blackened death metal. But this is their 6th album, released on Testimony Records, and this band just released this on the 16th, so this past Friday. And kind of interesting note that I found going in the archives and from other reviews, this was actually produced by none other than Dan Swano himself. And if you guys have seen his track record, then you guys know this guy knows how to make some really good, damn good death metal. And I'll get into the production here later on, but it's really interesting to note to hear Dan Swano actually produce this album. But this is my introduction to this band. I believe I've heard of these guys before, but never delve into the discography, even though it is a little bit short. But yeah, without further ado, let's kick off with the opening track, The Withering Stench of Hope. And right from the get-go, blackened tremolo melodies, really lots of immolation nods in terms of the dissonance, which I think is really nice. And a lot of bolt thrower grooves, and you'll be hearing me repeat that throughout the entire review, where, you know, immolation, bolt thrower, a couple other bands we'll be talking about here in a bit, but really nice pace setter for the album. It's got these nice kind of blackened tremolos, nice death metal chugs going throughout. Very haunting melodic solo. Like the solos throughout this entire album are very haunting, very melodic. Has this nice kind of brooding sound to it, which I think really adds to what this band is going for here. Then we get into the title track. Lots of nods to Behemoth. I really get a big Behemoth vibe off of this song in particular. Really nice kind of double time stomps and double time grooves on that song in particular. And that kind of goes throughout some other tracks, like in Withering Rapture. I can speak today, I promise. And especially Ash Drapes the Earth in particular. Really nice kind of double time stomps there. The third track, Funeral Throne. Very bolt thrower like beginning, kind of something like a Cenotaph riff in some capacity, but kind of have like that Cenotaph like groove to it that I think is pretty nice. Triplet chugs, it's very meat potato sounding, which I think is really nice. Very thrashy like solo, like it gets a little bit thrashy towards the end. That I think is very, very, very nice. In Withering Rapture, why I keep saying Capture, in Withering Rapture, very brooding intro. Like, this song in particular is bleak, very somber groove, but it has a very much of a Gorguts kind of vibe to it that I think is really, really, really nice. It's got a nice kind of Gorguts midsection that I think is very cool. Then we get to Cancerous Bane, and the intro, and I would say this with the outro to the final track, Triumphant Death, has some very weird, like, kind of breathy vocals that I get what they're going for, especially with the atmosphere, but I don't know, it just felt a little bit off. It sounded like somebody was about to hit a bong. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why you want to get high on weed when you're listening to this album, but I certainly digress. But it's very ulcerate sounding, very much in the vein of Everything is Fire, that I think is really nice. I love how the bass pops up in that song in particular. Like, the bass mix throughout this whole album, I think, is actually really, really, really good. And again, I'll get to the production here in a little bit, but yeah, I really love how the bass kind of, you know, pops up on this album, and it gives like a little bit of a, that's kind of a variety, I guess you could say. Then we get to Unending Hunt, very Sound of Perseverance-esque beginning melodies, and in a way kind of like symbolic to like that era of death where it's like very melodic, that I think is very nice. Ash Drapes Earth. Again, has like very much a double time stomp and double time grooves throughout. Very bolt thrower-esque. I think is very nice. Same with the penultimate track, In the Shade of the Devil's Horns. Very double time groovy. A little bit longer too. It's a little over 4 minutes. I think is very nice. But it doesn't kind of waste your time in a way. But then we get to probably one of the big standout tracks for me, and that's Triumphant Death. Very doom-laden. I really love this track. Kind of an Autopsy kind of vibe. Like, the vocals kind of reminds me a little bit of Sean Reinhart with that very kind of raspy, kind of breathy kind of delivery he gets, like a very dry delivery. But it's got a big incantation vibe that I think is very nice and very much complements the song in particular. Now, again, with the production, I think production is actually really damn good. It's got this nice kind of murk evil sound to it. I really love, like, the snare in particular sounds amazing on this album. I really dig that. I love the vocal work on this album. I think the vocals are really well done. Again, he's got like kind of like a bit of a dry delivery in some cases, but it's very throaty, and it kind of has like a little bit of, it sounds like he's got like dirt that's slowly becoming mud in this guy's throat. It's kind of gross in a way. I really love the lead work in particular. I think is absolutely tremendous on this album because it really showcases these guys as this musicality and musicianship. Besides that, I don't really have anything to really complain about in terms of negatives. I guess maybe a song or two can kind of blend together, and it does sound just a little bit run together in some capacity, but it doesn't really sound, forced in a way. It sounds very natural. I really enjoy that, but and kind of like the weird kind of breathy vocals they do on a couple of tracks that are just kind of there for the most part, but overall, this is a damn good album, at least in terms of a first listening for these young virgin ears. But yeah, I dig this. I think the production is great. The songwriting's really good. I really love the atmosphere on this album. I'm going to give this 4 stars. Borderline on a 4.25. For right now, it's a 4. I dig this. I think this is a really good album. I enjoy it. It's, again, like those kind of like nice kind of evil black metal tremolos, but also that very, death metal like chugs. And it creates a very perfect PB&J sandwich, if you ask me, despite the fact they can't have peanut butter. But besides that, damn good stuff. If you love, obviously, Immolation, Ulcerate, Gore Guts, Bolt Thrower, I would throw in a little bit of Morbid Angel in there in terms of the atmosphere and the lead work. But especially on the final track, if you love Autopsy and Incantation, you'll dig this album. So yeah, overall 4 stars for me. So folks, what did you guys think about Antropomorphia's Devoid of Light? Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, tap that big subscribe button, and tap the bell so when I upload, you guys will be notified. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Most importantly, join the herd. Till you guys in the next video. Peace out.